This is TempleOS 5-minute random code walkthrough, episode 25, and I'm your host, Terry Davis. So let's see where God takes us. Alt B. And we are in kernel ed light. Okay. So normally you use the full-featured editor, but there's a simple editor that's for emergencies when it's in the kernel. The normal editor is in DOLDocs. This is the normal editor. It's huge. It does all the trees. Like if I say line rep, the normal editor does these trees, and it does links, and it does everything. But in the kernel, there's a there's an ed light, and this is for if it crashes during a startup script, you can use ed light to edit your startup script. Maybe type fix. There's a in this file is a it will go to the last compiler error when you type fix. So if you ever have a compiler error, type fix and it will go to the last error. Anyway, so ed light is a line editor. There's the fundamental structure is a queue. I use circular queues. What a circular queue is circular doubly linked queue. So a circular doubly linked queue has a head. I call it the root, and then it has bidirectional links to all the other nodes. So this is what a circular queue looks like. It has a next and a last, and then it comes back to itself, to the root. So this is a circular doubly linked list, otherwise known as a queue, and there's a dynamically allocated text. U8 is text, and so we have a queue, and then we have text for each line. So basically, it has to draw it. This works in a black and white. I can't show you with the video running. There's a black and white mode that's for emergencies. It's kind of like a kernel panic mode, and this editor works in the black and white mode, and this updates the screen. What we do is what do we do? Okay, so we go through all the rows of text starting at the top, and I'm just looking at what I do here. We go through all the rows of text, and so the current line, we use TempL. TempL starts as the current line, and we go through a loop for all the rows of text. First of all, we back up halfway from the current line. The current line is kept centered, so this backs up. So we start at the top, which is the current line is the center. We go through all the lines, and where do we draw? If it's not, we start. Oh, we just output text. Okay, so we output a character at a time. We use the standard this uses raw mode output. Anyway, raw mode output is like put char. Anyway, so we go through the line, and we have to handle tabs. If it's a tab, we have to do the right number of spaces. And then when we get to the end of the file, we print EOF. So this is a emergency editor, and when it runs, we run in an emergency mode. I guess we even turn off interrupts. We pull the let's see. This is where we create the entries. We make new entry. We start with a document. We read a document into a buffer. Then we go through the buffer, and we make all the circular doubly linked list nodes. And then we go to the, you can start at a current line. When you have an error, you want to go to the line number of the error. So this, when you call edlink, you can specify a file name and then a line number, and then we stay in a loop, getting characters, and mostly we do the cursor keys. These are cursor keys. Otherwise, if it's not a cursor key, we even have page up, page down, delete. If we have a carriage return, we start a new line, we start inserting. We have to handle backspace, we have to handle Control Y is delete a line, and all the other characters, as long as it can be displayed, then this is inserting. If you type a character, it's inserting that character. Anyway, so this has to make a new, I think this reallocates remember, line was an allocated string of text, and we allocate one bigger. Anyway, if it's at the end, we have to make a new line. Otherwise, if it's not at the end, we current column plus 1 equals 0. That's if it's the end of line. So that's the emergency editor.